Welcome to the Loyal Opposition Podcast, episode number 6. I'm Berney Flowers, one of Uncle Sam's wayward children. I believe that our country's best days are still in front of us, but in order to make those best days come, we've got to change the direction of the country right now. I intend to talk about important issues every week in hopes of helping to improve our nation and its way of life. Please like, share, and subscribe. Now, let's get started. So, why are the elites bringing so many migrants and refugees into the country right now? I don't know. Let's talk about the Afghan refugee crisis first. Let's do the math. That's 85,000 people brought in at $1,400 a day for maintenance and upkeep. That is $119 million per day that the government had not budgeted for. No wonder that we are $32.7 trillion in debt. And in case you didn't know, that is $94,700 for each citizen in the United States, to include children. How about the Southwest border crisis? They got a mess going on down there right now. The head of the Border Patrol sent out a memo last week saying that the release of illegal migrants into the U.S. without court dates was happening if agents face overcrowding as the Biden administration scrambles to deal with a historic surge in migration at the border as a result of the end of Title 42. The memo also said that migrants can be allowed into the country on parole, a process typically reserved for urgent humanitarian reasons or significant public benefit. The Border Patrol agents were reporting that as many as 10,000 people a day were coming across the border last week. Back in my day when I was working for the government, it was only $3,000, or rather 3,000 people coming across. So the bottom line to me is, whose jobs are these migrants going to take? Reparations. How do reparations fit into immigration? America had a Black president for 2 terms. If you got no reparations under Obama, why would you think that you're going to get reparations under Joe Biden? The man who said, if you don't vote for me, you ain't Black. The man who delivered the eulogy at Senator Robert Byrd, who happened to be a Klansman, he delivered the eulogy at the funeral. He also spoke at Senator Strom Thurmond's funeral, one of the most notorious segregationists in the history of this country. Joe Biden is supposedly black, female vice president. What's she doing for reparations? I don't think she's working on reparations. Have you gotten your reparations? I bet the trans community will get reparations before the Black community does. I wonder. I really wonder. 1% keeps tantalizing the Black community with the thought of reparations, and Blacks keep voting for that thought. But let's consider what's happening in San Francisco as an example. They are considering giving Black families $5 million apiece in reparations. That is financially unsustainable, absolutely impossible. It would bankrupt the city of San Francisco. San Francisco, instead of being able to minister to its many poor and downtrodden folks, those people would be unceremoniously moved out of where they're living. And soon you would have $4,000 a month condos and apartments popping up everywhere. You think I'm joking? Well, let's see what happened in D.C., down on New York Avenue, where a lot of Black people used to live. All those Black people are gone because there are fancy $3,000 and $4,000 a month condos and apartments there now. What happened to all the Black people? And by the way, all the money that is supposedly going to reparations or, budgeted for that, how are we going to feed and clothe all these brand new immigrants that are coming across the border right now? I wonder wonder. Your enemy is not the majority of this country. Your enemy is the oligarchs and the 1%. A small number of oligarchs have power over the information that reaches the public. They're playing on our emotions, and we're letting them do it. And by the way, all this diversity, equity, and inclusion from BlackRock, Vanguard, and the Davos Group, it's just a scam. It's just wealthy and powerful people making themselves even more wealthy and powerful. What we have here, folks, is a self-licking ice cream cone, and it ain't good. I don't know how to fix this, but I know that our economy is not in a good place right now. I know that bringing millions of undocumented people into this country is not what America needs right now. I know that American citizens have needs that are not being met. And I know that the Black leadership that has been calling for reparations for 50 years has not been successful in their quest. They've managed to continue to elect Democrat politicians to office with very, very little return on investment. That's what I know. I know that the 1% will be fine no matter what happens to the proletariat. And I know that you still don't have your reparations. Well, that's it for now. This has been the Loyal Opposition Podcast, brought to you in association with Liberty Arise Media and other podcasters. We hope that you will like, share, and subscribe to this podcast and to this channel. Be sure to get your copy of my new book, Black Values Matter. You can get it on Amazon as a book or as an ebook on Audible or Apple Books. And remember, it's okay to disagree. But if we want our country to prosper, we must insist on unity, transparency, and civility from ourselves and our fellow citizens. Thank you for listening to the Loyal Opposition Podcast. See you next week.